It's midday. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to 12 Live here on Class 91.3 FM in Accra and affiliates across the country. If you're listening in the Volta region, this is OFM 92.5, Dogban FM 102.5. It's also picking the bulletin live in Tamale. We are live on Radio Wa 92.1 in the Upper West region. We are live on Radio Power 96 in Spain, and around the world you can join us on classfmonline.com. And coming up this afternoon, supporters of the opposition New Patriotic Party gathering at the headquarters of the IOCO to demand the immediate release of Dennis Miracle Sabuaji, the spokesperson for the party 2028 presidential candidate.
Ministry begins assessment of waste sanitation in communities. Also, travelers breathe a sign of relief as new airport system take effect at Accra International Airport.
Imagine that day you wore a stock that was not in the best shape. Everyone sees it, But finally, to me, it's a huge relief, and I'm looking forward to how it's executed.
The 2026 BEC candidate to begin second cycle school selection from July 20. Also coming up in this bulletin, King of Dagbon Yana Mahama Bukari II reported dead. We'll take you live to the area for the latest in that. Also coming up in African news, South Africa says more than 53,000 foreigners have been deported in migration campaign. These plus many other stories, including sports, coming your way shortly.
And thank you very much for being a part of the program. This is 12 Live on Class 91.3 FM. My name is Charles Akrofi, and this afternoon I'm here with
Elizabeth Aidoo.
Now, pressure is mounting at the headquarters of the Economic and Organized Crime Office as supporters of the New Patriotic Party demand answers over the arrest of Dennis Miracle Sabuaji. Now, the MPP supporters are gathering at IOCO's offices in Accra, calling for the immediate release of Mr. Sabuaji, who serves as spokesperson for the party's 2028 presidential candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Mr. Sabuaji was picked up at the Kotoka International Airport on Saturday by officers of IOCO and the Ghana Immigration Service. The MPP says he has not been informed about the basis for the arrest and is also raising concerns that he has not been granted access to his legal team. The party has accused authorities of failing to follow due process and is demanding clarity on the circumstances surrounding his detention. Here are the sounds of supporters of the New Patriotic Party demanding answers over the arrest of Dennis Miracles Sabuaji. So those were some sounds from the IOCO headquarters here in Accra, where members of the New Patriotic Party have actually gathered this morning, demanding the release of Dennis Miracles Abuaji, the spokesperson for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that's the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. Now, a member of the New Patriotic Party's communications team, Emmanuel Senyo Amaklanu, also condemned the arrest of Dennis Miracles Abuaji, describing the manner in which he was carried out, or it was carried out, as unacceptable and demanding his immediate release.
To alert the person, the very person you arrested, you allowed him to fly out of the country. You never arrested him. You waited until he came back, then you pick him in a Rambo style. So the question we are asking is, what is the cause of the arrest? Why was he arrested? And as it stands today, as it stands this morning, none of us, not even my own good friend, good fellow who is inside, have been granted access to him. So the question we are asking is, why are they denying his lawyers or any member of the New Patriotic Party to have access to Dennis Miracle? He must be released now, because the government must come out clear to tell us why they have arrested him, why he has been picked in that Rambo style. Because you ask yourself, in any good governance structure, the very person being arrested, if you know and you have any facts that he has done anything contrary to the law gives you the room to invite the person to come and answer. But you never invited him. You waited until he flew out of the country, returned, and then on his way back, you are picking him up in a Rambo style. That is unacceptable.
So that's a member of the NPP communications team, Emmanuel Senyo Amaklenu. Now, the IOCO, that's the Economic and Organized Crime Office, we understand moments prior to coming into this bulletin, has issued a statement clarifying reasons why Dennis Miracles Abuaji was actually picked up by officials from that facility, or from the IOCO and the Ghana Immigration Service. My colleague Kwame Otri Jr. has joined me in studios with details to that effect. Kwame, so what really are the reasons IOCO is giving for which Dennis Miracles Abuaji was picked up?
Right, Charles. So for those who are asking why has Miracles Abuaji been arrested or been picked up by Yoko, this is the reason. According to Yoko, the arrest follows extensive investigations commenced by the outfits after receiving a petition from the current executive secretary of the Interministerial Committee on Decentralization, requesting further investigations into a forensic audit conducted into the affairs of the secretariat, covering the period from August 1, 2022 to February 2, 2025, according to the investigations which commenced last year, following an initial forensic audit of the committee and subsequent petition concern the suspected misappropriation, diversion, and thefts of public funds amounting to 55 million Ghana cedis. Now, this is the former executive secretary, that's Dennis Miracles Abuaji, and the former accountant to that committee, Mr. Gerald Appiah, and others are under investigations for suspected offenses, including, so there are about 7, I'll take you through them: conspiracy to steal and stealing, using public office for profits, 3, causing financial loss to the state, dissipation of public funds, defrauding by false pretenses, and money laundering. The last one, other suspected offenses. So these are the reasons why IOCO have picked up Dennis Miracles Abuaji, the former secretary to that committee, and then the former accountant to that committee.
Kyoji, let me thank you for your time this afternoon. That's my colleague Kwame Otri Jr. and host of 505 here on Class 91.3 FM, bringing us up to speed with a statement issued by the Economic and Organized Crime Office with regards to the arrest of Dennis Miracles Abuaji. We're still working on the phone lines. Hopefully we get to speak to Jonathan Asante-Otri, who is a political analyst, for some expert analysis on this development as we have it now. As and when we have him, or as and when we get him, we'll bring him on and then have a conversation with him on this very development. This is 12 Live here on Class 91.3 FM. Elizabeth, what more do we have?
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has begun assessing the aftermath of the national cleanup exercise, with the Minister Ahmed Ibrahim leading the inspection to determine whether heaps of waste left along roadside and public spaces have been cleared. The two-day exercise, which took place from Friday to Saturday, targeted areas affected by the recent floods, with participants clearing the debris and removing waste and also cleaning communities as part of efforts to improve sanitation conditions. Following the exercise, Ahmed Ibrahim, who is the minister, is leading a monitoring exercise across affected areas to assess the impact of the cleanup, identify locations where waste remains, and evaluate the response of metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies in managing sanitation challenges. The assessment will also determine whether the cleanup areas are being properly maintained and whether further interventions are required. The exercise has also renewed discussions on the need for sustained sanitation management beyond the periodic cleanup, with calls for regular waste collection and enforcement of sanitation regulations. The ministry says the monitoring process will help identify gaps and ensure that the gains made from the cleanup exercise are sustained. But before we speak to the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Charles, let's go back to the NPP story.
Definitely. And we're going back to the story to do with the arrest of Dennis Miracle Sabwaji. And we are joined on the lines by Dr. Jonathan Asantiotri, who is a political analyst, to help us with some expert analysis on this development. Mr. Ochi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time with us on 12 Live. So the MPP has raised questions or concerns that Mr. Sabwaji has not been granted access to his legal team and that the party has not been fully notified of the charges. First of all, is there any danger that this or his detention could be perceived as a politically motivated rather than a standard law enforcement procedure, especially given the lack of immediate communication from the states?
1.3 FM.
Well, let me say good afternoon to your listeners. The point is that at this point in time, whatever we say could be more speculative because we are not seized with most of the facts as far as this particular issue is concerned. But my worry is the fact that if an individual is arrested, and if that individual belongs to either MPP or NDC, it becomes a problem. Now, I see that as an institutionalization or a normalization of democratic violence, as it were, in the name of establishment or implementation of law. Now, at a point, you see the MPP suggest that, well, they are law-abiding. They believe in accountability. And yet, if somebody is arrested for a particular reason or the other, then the party is up in arms. I just don't get it. You see, I wouldn't want a situation where due process will not be followed. We need to see that due process is being followed. As of now, we do not know exactly the basis of his arrest. Most often than not, we see that these state agencies, security agencies, tend to undertake certain decisions and actions that create all manner of interpretation, all manner of guesswork, all manner of statements that people will put out there.
Well, Mr. Asante, just by way of information, just a few minutes ago, we read a statement issued by Iyoko in that regard. And one of the reasons why Iyoko says he has arrested Dennis Miracle Sabwaji includes money laundering, among a number of issues that, it put out. So at least the communication is out there.
Well, that has come about because there is that much pressure. But of course, there is a need for that clarity to be made. And so I am very thankful that an information of that nature has come up. And therefore, it beholds the MPP, as it were, as they believe in accountability, to ensure that they allow law enforcement or law enforcers to do their job. That is more important in a democracy. Because I was wondering and asking myself, I don't remember Sabwaji in the lead up to the 2024 elections occupying any state office, for which reason something of that sort could be leveled against him. Or I was wondering what kind of charges could be leveled against someone who was not occupying any state office maybe that will call for accountability.
Mm.
So
Class
it is not
91.3
strange to
FM.
me that money laundering is something that has been leveled against him,
I
because
see.
I think they might have done their investigation, and for them to pick up such a person, then it means that they have a solid lead upon which they will want to execute that particular case. The ganging up of MPP, it is not the MPP that has been arrested. It is a Ghanaian who belongs to a
But he
political
belongs to
party.
a political party,
Yes,
yes.
so you are first a Ghanaian before you become a member of a political party.
Okay.
So your right as a Ghanaian comes from the state or the
Okay.
society that you belong to. So if the society is of the view that something untoward has happened, you must allow the society that gives you right to ensure that
Very well.
they use the same processes to either free you or incarcerate you.
Very well. Mr. Asante, let me thank you for your time this afternoon, for your expert view on this development. So that's Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochre. He's a political analyst and, of course, giving us some expert analysis with regards to the arrest of Dennis Miracle Sabwaji. Meanwhile, the Ashanti Regional Police Command says it has restored calm after chaos broke out during the MPP's constituency election in Wiamwasi. The opposition New Patriotic Party says it has successfully conducted constituency executive elections in 245 out of its 276 constituencies nationwide, representing an 88% point success rate. However, the exercise was not without incidents of tension and disruption in some areas. There's more in the following news desk report.
To alert the
The exercise in the Ashanti region saw violence break out at Bantama after a group of undefined individuals reportedly stormed the voting center, disrupting the process. One person sustained injuries while police arrested 3 suspects in connection with the incident before calm was restored and voting later resumed. There were also reports of confusion at Trobu constituency. There were also reports of confusion at the Trobu constituency where disagreements and last-minute challenges prevented the election from taking place. The party says elections in 23 constituencies have been put on hold due to various disputes. It adds that 4 constituencies, including Ningo Prampram, Echima Imponia, Obuasi West, and Trobu, could not hold elections because of last-minute challenges. Meanwhile, the New Patriotic Party's National Committee is expected to review election activities in Efija Setre East, Adanse Asokwa, Bantama, and Asante Achem Central before deciding the next course of action. In a statement signed by the party's General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Kodria, the National Secretariat assures members that it remains committed to resolving all outstanding issues to ensure the successful completion of the constituency executive election process. The party also expressed appreciation to its members for what it described as their commitment, discipline, and support, which contributes to the largely successful conduct of the election. Meanwhile, the Ashanti Regional Police Service says it has restored calm at Wiamwase after violence broke out during the exercise.
And that was a news desk report. This is 12 Live on Class 91.3 FM.
The Ghana Education Service has announced that candidates who will sit for this year's basic education certificate examination will begin selecting their preferred second cycle school for Monday, July 20 to Friday, August 7, 2026. The service has directed all regional directors of education to ensure that metropolitan, municipal, and district directors of education within their areas fully participate in the exercise. In a circular issued to the regional director and signed by the director of the schools and instructions division of the Ghana Education Service, Prince Ajimandria, the service invited all metropolitan, municipal, and district directors of education to take part in the nationwide training and sensitization program on the 2026 school selection guidelines and placement procedures. The training exercise is also scheduled to run from Wednesday, July 15 to Tuesday, July 29, 2026. According to the Ghana Education Service, the program is aimed at providing education officials with a deeper understanding of the selection guidelines and equipping them with and to provide effective supervision and support through the school selection process.
Let's turn our attention to other developments now. And the overlord of Dagban, Yana Abubakar Mahama, has been formally declared dead following the performance of the required traditional rites by the royal drummers of Sapashini in accordance with Dagban customs and traditions. The late Yana has since been laid to rest at the Gbewa Palace. Following his burial, his son was eskinded as the Kampankuyana and regent of Dagban. Thus, the Kampankuyana will temporarily oversee the affairs of the kingdom and provide traditional leadership until a new Yana is selected and is skinned. Before I take you to the area, here is a news desk report.
Yana Mahama Abukari II, the revered king of Dagon, who brought an end to the kingdom's 16-year chieftaincy dispute and restored the Yendi's king, has died. The overlord of the Dagon kingdom was enskinned as the 41st Yana on January 18, 2019, at a defining moment in the history of the kingdom. His ascension to the throne followed years of conflict and mediation, and his reign came to symbolize peace, reconciliation, and unity in Dagon. Born Bukali in Mion, Yana Mahama Abukari II, the son of Yana Mahama II, who ruled Dagon from 1938 until his death on February 6, 1948. His mother, Aishetu, was a princess from Kulunkwegu and the northern region. Before ascending to the Yendi skin, he served as the chief of Bunkpono and was later elevated to the Savlugu skin, one of the three traditional gate skins from which a Yana is selected. The Yendi skin had remained vacant since 2002 following violent clashes between the Abudu and Andani Royal Gate, a conflict that claimed lives and deeply divided the Dagbon Kingdom. After years of mediation involving the government of Ghana and a committee of eminent chiefs, the rival gates agreed on a roadmap for peace.
So that's the news desk report. Of course, definitely will bring you, the full excerpt in subsequent bulletins. But for now, though, let's get onto the phone lines and speak to our reporter up north, Sadiq Abubakar. Good afternoon, Sadiq. Thank you very much for your time with us on 12 Live. So the Kampankia Na will temporarily oversee the affairs of the kingdom and provide traditional leadership until a new Yana is selected. Any timeline as regards when a new Yana will be selected? Fill us in. Hello, Sadiq, can you hear me? Sadiq, can you hear me? Okay, so looks like we're having some challenges with the lines there, but we'll try it one more time. Let me try again and see if I get... Okay, so we're still working on the phone lines. We just want to get to understand how events are looking up, up north in Dagbang, where the Yana Abubakar Mahama has been formally declared dead. Unfortunately, the lines are not helping us this afternoon, but definitely we'll bring you some more on this development in subsequent bulletins. This is 12 Live on Class 91.3 FM. Let's turn our attention to other developments now.
Passengers traveling through Accra International Airport will no longer need to remove their shoes, belt, or laptops during security screening. The Ghana Airports Company Limited says it has begun deploying new security screening equipment at the passenger checkpoint of Terminal 2 and 3 at the Accra International Airport. The new system allows passengers to keep laptops, shoes, belt, and permitted liquids into their cabin baggage during screening, although the 100mm limit for liquid remains in place. The Ghana Airports Company Limited says the upgrade is intended to strengthen aviation security, improve the passenger experience, and also speed up processes. The rollouts will all be carried out in phases alongside existing screening procedures. We spoke to some travelers on what this means to them. This is what they've been saying.
So I think it's a very laudable idea. Once the new system is an upgradement of the old one, it is good. But the question we should ask ourselves is, what difference is this going to make? Yes, if it's going to really tighten security, enhance on the security at the airport, it's a welcome call. If they are going to bring a system that at the end of the day can be compromised, then it's a waste of money.
I think that it's a good and positive move. It gets so frustrating if or when you get to the airport and you're carrying, say, 3 laptops. And you have to remove all of them, and you have to also remove your shoes and your sock. It's a lot, and sometimes when you are late for boarding and you get there and you have to go through all that, it delays you further. So I think it's a very positive move, and it will ease pressure at the airports. A lot of airports around the world are no longer doing that. Remove your belt and your laptops and your shoes. No, they don't do that. So I think that Ghana is getting there gradually. It's a good one for.
You had some travelers.
Now, before we bring you the latest in the world of sports, let's take you to South Africa, where the South African government says more than 53,000 foreign nationals have been deported or repatriated since launching a migration management campaign few weeks ago. Most were from Malawi, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, according to officials, and the number is likely to rise as repatriations and deportations continue. South Africa is carrying one of its biggest crackdowns on undocumented migrants in years, following weeks of anti-immigration protests that have seen violence, intimidation, and looting. Protesters have been demanding tighter border controls and mass deportation, accusing migrants of controlling or contributing to high unemployment, rising crime rates, and collapse of public sector or public services. This is 12 Live. We're going for the latest in the world of sports as Osborne Kweku Anefi has joined us in studios.
Class Sports. Get it first.
Good afternoon and welcome to Class 91.3 FM. This is 12 Live and it's time for sports. The Black Stars defender Gideon Mensah has officially signed a contract with the German side FC Cologne following his brilliant performances at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The 27-year-old, who was a free agent after leaving French side AJ Oze, finally moved his negotiations smoothly.
You're coming to a league where you're not used.
Coach Joe Nana Adakwa praised his side's resilience following their hard-fought victory over Senegal. The under-17 women's national team advanced on penalties after an intense dramatic battle, keeping their 2026 FIFA under-17 Women's World Cup qualifications hopes alive. The coach echoed his pride, looking ahead for the final rounds.
A big thank you to our players too. They showed strong commitment. Their resilience was very high. They did well. They were focused on what we taught them, and we got the results. And again, I want to say a big thank you to the whole Ghana for supporting us from day one till today. We are happy. We got a good result that we thought that we could have walked over in the regulation time, but a team was also prepared for this encounter.
Now, more in sports, the Black Queens have arrived in Morocco to begin their final phase of preparations for the 2026 CAF Women's African Cup of Nations. A total of 18 players have reported to camp ahead as Coach Kim Lass and his technical team commence preparations for the pending assignment. That's all for sports. Charles, please take over.
Thank you very much, Osborne Kweku Anefi there with the latest in the world of sports. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of 12 Live, which came your way from our studios here at 3rd Daddy Walk Street, North Labone, Accra. My name is Charles Akrofi, together with
Elizabeth Aidoo.
Remember to always visit classfmonline.com for some more stories. And at 5 o'clock, you want to join Kwame Otri Jr. together with the team as they bring you the day's big issues with expert analysis right here on Class 91.3 FM. Up next is the afternoon business review with Nano Yankra and the team. Do enjoy the rest of our programs and have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.
Class 91.3 FM.